Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Business Basics Hub. In today's explainer, we're going to decode the absolutely essential but, often super confusing world of business bylaws. Now, if you're a beginner business owner, you've probably heard this term tossed around, right? You see it in business articles, on financial news networks, maybe your accountant keeps bringing it up. It's one of those terms that sounds incredibly official and intimidating, yet it feels like nobody ever just stops to explain what it actually means for a brand new entrepreneur who's just trying to get their ideas off the ground. Well, that ends today. We are going to break the whole thing down super simply so you can actually protect your new enterprise from day one. Let's dive right in. I am absolutely thrilled to be your guide for this. Look, as a business owner, you already have a massive amount on your plate. You're managing products, you're dealing with customers, and you've got 100 other moving parts to worry about. My goal here is to help you build a solid, unshakable foundation for your business, keeping things completely straightforward and highly practical. So we're going to focus purely on simple, no-fluff business guidance that you can literally put to use right away to make your entrepreneurial journey a whole lot smoother. Quick heads up before we get into the nitty-gritty, just our standard intro disclaimer. This explainer is for general educational purposes only, okay? It's not legal, tax, or financial advice. We're here to learn the basics and get you pointed in the exact right direction, but always remember that every single business out there is unique. Okay, here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. What are business bylaws? 2. Why your business needs them. 3. How to create your bylaws. 4. Common beginner mistakes. And 5. Next steps for owners. Section 1. What are business bylaws? The internal rule book. Let's start this off with a simple, crystal clear definition so we are absolutely on the same page. Think of bylaws simply as your company's internal rulebook. It's the foundational document that dictates exactly how your organization is structured and run. Honestly, they are the closest thing your business has to a constitution. They're your ultimate source of truth. So when disagreements inevitably pop up over, say, who gets to spend company money, or how a new partner is brought in, or what happens if an owner suddenly wants to sell their share, this is the document that settles the argument. They define how major decisions get made, who has the specific authority to make them, and they lay out the strict rules for your board of directors, your officers, and your required meetings. Now, we need to clear up a major beginner misunderstanding right out of the gate. A lot of new owners completely confuse their articles of incorporation with their bylaws. Here is the big difference. Your articles of incorporation are filed with the state to establish your legal existence. They basically give birth to your company in the eyes of the government. Your bylaws, on the other hand, those are your private internal rules. You generally do not have to file them with the state at all, but make no mistake, they are still absolutely legally binding on everyone inside your organization. Section 2. Why your business needs them. Protection and growth. So now that we know what they actually are, let's explore exactly why you need to have them in place to protect your hard work and allow for real growth. You might be sitting there thinking, hey, I'm just a small business. Do I really need a formal rulebook? And the answer is a loud, resounding yes. Let's look at a real-world scenario. Imagine a key leader, like a founding director, suddenly resigns out of nowhere. Without bylaws, your business operations could literally stall in total confusion. Tempers might flare, and daily operations could come to a complete grinding halt. Who takes over? Do the remaining directors just pick a replacement, or do you need a massive shareholder vote? With bylaws, you already have a documented step-by-step process for smoothly choosing a replacement without all the drama and panic. Or consider this highly common scenario. You are finally ready to open a business bank account or secure a much-needed small business loan. You confidently walk into the bank, and the banker almost immediately asks for your bylaws. Why? Because banks will almost always refuse to open a corporate account or issue a loan until they review your bylaws. They're not just going to take your word for it, right? They need documented, legal proof to verify who actually has the legal signing authority for your company's finances. Basically, they need absolute proof of who is in charge before handing over a single dime. So the absolutely crucial point here is this. Having this rulebook is critical for survival. First off, it ensures legal compliance, mostly because a lot of states actually require corporations to have them by law. Second, it establishes a really clear chain of command so everyone knows their specific job and boundaries. Third, it prevents costly, messy disputes between partners that could otherwise drag you into court. Fourth, it ensures your business runs consistently even if leadership changes over time. And finally, as we just saw, it proves your credibility to banks, investors, and any potential partners. Section 3. How to create your bylaws. A step-by-step guide. We understand why they are so vital, so let's walk through a simple, totally stress-free roadmap to actually create your own. I promise it really doesn't have to be overwhelming. You can tackle this entire process by following these 5 straightforward phases. Step 1, check your state rules. Some states have really specific requirements for what must be included, so always start your research there. Next up, step 2, gather your key info. This just means writing down the names of your directors, your business address, and figuring out how often you want to legally hold meetings. Moving on to step 3, draft the initial rules. You can definitely use a trusted template, or honestly, better yet, hire a professional if your business structure is at all complex. Then, step 4, review them together. Send the draft to your entire team before you meet, so everyone can catch any errors or voice their concerns early. And finally, step 5, take a formal vote to adopt them at your very first board meeting. Once that vote passes, boom, they are officially your company's law. Section 4, Common Beginner Mistakes, Pitfalls to Avoid. Now, even with a really solid plan, beginners can often stumble. Let's highlight a few high-level mistakes you absolutely must avoid as you draft your documents. Trust me, knowing these right now will save you a massive headache later on. For starters, a huge point of confusion is mixing up your bylaws with standard company policies. You have to remember that your bylaws are the highest level of internal law. They are hard, legally binding rules about your organizational structure. Policies, however, are just your day-to-day operational guidelines. We're talking things like your employee dress code, your refund policy, or your vacation rules. Management can easily change policies on a whim, but changing bylaws, that requires a major formal vote. So always remember this golden rule. Your policies must never, ever contradict your bylaws. Other critical beginner mistakes kind of build off of this confusion. Beginners often accidentally create conflicting rules between their different business documents. Another huge pitfall is ignoring your specific state rules, which, can easily get you in some hot legal water. A lot of new owners also do all the hard work of drafting the bylaws, but then completely fail to actually hold a formal meeting to officially vote and adopt them, which renders the whole document completely useless. And finally, perhaps the absolute most common mistake of all is just shoving them in a drawer and forgetting they even exist. You cannot just ignore them as your business inevitably expands. If you bring on new partners, move to a new state, or launch a massive new product line, your old rules probably might not make sense anymore. You should actively review and update them every few years for sure. Section 5, Next Steps for OMers. Take action. Well, you've made it through the basics. You now have the foundational knowledge you need to tackle this crucial paperwork and confidently protect your new enterprise. As always, please remember our standard outro disclaimer. This content is for general educational purposes only and is not legal, tax, or financial advice. Laws and requirements vary significantly by state and by your individual situation, so please strongly consider consulting a qualified professional for guidance specific to your business. Honestly, it is always a smart investment to have an expert in your corner. Thanks so much for engaging with this explainer today. If you want more simple, no-fluff business guidance to help your journey, go ahead and hit subscribe on the Business Basics Hub channel and ring that notification bell so you know exactly when new explainers drop. Drop a like on this and please share it with a fellow business owner who might be starting out too. But before you go, I want you to ask yourself this one final question. If your business faced a major leadership crisis tomorrow, would your current paperwork save your company or sink it? Let's build successful, fully protected businesses together. See you next time.